Hello, what is up everybody? Today we already got the fusion event for Titus Blackplume live. You can already go ahead and find it over here. We're gonna have 2 weeks of events running where we are going to be able to collect the fragments for the champion we need to be fusing up into Titus, which is Gum Yellow Wand, which by the way you can already start farming up. There is some events scheduled and we already have 2 tournaments live. We will be checking the calendar right here and analyzing if it's going to be a hard event to complete, otherwise any overlaps which you might be interested in preparing for, right? So we already got the champion training tournament going on as well as a dragon tournament, so let's get into the calendar. Before we go any further, please go ahead and check out Aptoide if you haven't done so yet. It's going to be allowing you to get yourself massive amounts of bonuses whenever buying anything in Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide, right? So just as you are buying a pack normally and regularly, you're going to be able to get a massive bonus that can go from extra 10% of your amount of money you're spending all the way up to extra 35% of that much money. And the good thing about this whole thing is that once you have enough of the bonuses, you're going to be able to use them to make the payments for you instead of actually using your real money, right? So you are saving up in further purchases in the future. We'll talk more about this whole thing at the end of the video. For now, let's keep going. Alright folks, here it is. We are starting off, as we already mentioned here, we got the Dragon Tournament already running, as well as a Champion Training Tournament. Now, the key thing about the Dragon, Ice Golem, Spider Tournament, such and such, is to go ahead and check out if there's any Dungeon Divers starting soon, right? So over here, we see that there is no overlap between the Dragon Tournament all the way until like halfway through Friday. So, by the way you're watching this video, it's probably already going to be live, but you will want to be waiting until the Dungeon Divers event actually starts to go ahead and dump a lot of your energy into trying to complete both things at the same time. It's going to be the best possible way of just being efficient about your energy. Otherwise, if you're starting to just drop a bunch of runs into the Dragon Tournament early on, those will not be counting, therefore, for the Dungeon Divers event. If you want to join my team in Raid Shadow Legends, click the link in the description to get a free Narma as well as Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. Here's what you need to do. First of all, log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Then click the link in the description and register a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial, and then go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get a fresh start in Raid with a free Narma and 3 epic champs. Click on my link right now. Then we have a champion training tournament, which is just going to be a matter of having a bunch of potions ready. If you do so, you're going to be able to get your way around this event without actually having to spend any energy. I mean, potentially you could go ahead and just farm the campaign and also level up a lot of champions that way, but if you're able to do those level ups during simply using potions and actually saving the energy, which is going to be a very scarce resource during this time, well, that is a massive way of actually getting a big boost in finishing up these events in particular. Then we got the classic arena events, just play them around. I mean, there's nothing else special to them, just play a bunch of arena during those days. And we have a gear enhancement event running over here. There is going to be 3 back to back to back, so ideally you would already have a lot of silver saved up. It's going to be costing you ideally about 15 million silver per gear enhancement event if you want to be fully finishing it up. And let me move my camera real quick right up here so you can see the info that I got down, right? As you can see over here, this is the fragments that are going to be totally available for the entire event. 225 coming from tournaments, 50 coming from the Summon Rush with the champion fragments over here, and then finally there's going to be 175 from events, making a total of 450. Now, as you can see, you are going to be needing 100 of those fragments for every single one of these champions you need to be fusing up. Of course, if you do end up getting a full-on version of this champion, which you will be able to do so, because as you can see right here, the Summon Rush is going to actually be containing, I think it's potentially going to be containing an entire version of the Epic Champion, if I'm not mistaken. In any case, if that is not the case, you can still also roll into one of these guys if you're pulling shards, and if that is the case, you will be having a much easier time in this event as you're able to skip some things. Otherwise, just doing the basic math, you can skip 2 events of the ones that drop 25, or fully skip the Summon Rush if you want to be making it through the entire thing, if you do not have the luck to actually pull this champion Gum Yellow Wand throughout just the random chances of pulling shots, right? So let's see more interesting stuff. We're going to be having a little bit of an overlap over here as well with the Dungeon Divers event as well as the Ice Golem, but there is no more overlaps in that way. So this is going to be a decently easy time. I guess there's not going to be double overlaps. We got another Dungeon Divers events over here, which will be overlapping with the Spider and the Fire Knight. So overall, that's going to be the two main overlaps where you want to be spending most of your energy, just getting those two tournaments, or rather the tournaments and the events out at the same time. There's going to be another champion training event. Again, save up a bunch of your potions. Ideally, you can make it work just by having a little bit of silver and potions accumulated, and then if that's not going to be doing the entire thing, well, you can go ahead and campaign farm the rest of the thing. There is a Kurosa Conquest tournament, which is just going to be kill Kurosa. Kind of follows the same idea, I do believe, as a Dungeon Divers event, or rather as a tournament. And then we will be having the Champion Chase tournament. During the Champion Chase, that's when you want to be dropping all your shards, right? So if we go over here real quick, if you at least have, I don't know, you're gonna be requiring at least like 85 ancient shards to make it work. That should be about enough to actually fully finish up a Champion Chase tournament. The Summon Rush, you can actually make it do if you have like 5 or 6, I think it's like between 5 and 6 sacred shards, and that is going to be the entire event done for you. So if you already meet those requirements, you are good to go. And then there's going to be another classic arena takedown over here, simple event and nothing too special about it. So that's the entire calendar, kind of tame, kind of mild. It's going to be running for 2 weeks, as we already saw in game, and that's pretty much about it. And by the way, we also have the Leminisi Chase event already live in game, so if you're interested in her, it is now the time to start logging in if you're not doing so already. But now at least we have a little bit more of excitement to do so every day, right? As we are going to be getting her in day 7 of the event, fully ready to be fully geared up with very good gear for her. You will not want to be putting all 6 pieces of Savage gear on her, but at least you're already getting a very much needed, really high rank up in general. As you can see, most of it is going to be 6 stars, so you will ideally want to be putting most of the high level gear on her, but it's not guaranteed that this gear is going to be any good anyways, could be rolling terrible stats. So in any case, we are going to be getting her on day 7 alongside a big bunch of very good rewards. And as we finish phase 1, you will already be having 2 soul levels on her, and then we will be getting a few more as we are progressing all the way up to 5 soul level, just like with Alice when that was up. It's going to be a ready to go champion, honestly. Like it's such a big difference when you have a very high soul level. So this champion, which we will be checking out in a second, will be ready and fully ready to go ahead and just be used in literally pretty much anywhere in the game. Let's see how good she is actually. So we can already find her in the index in game as we go to the Sylvan Watcher. She's going to be in game over here, ready to go. No reviews already, of course, because there's nobody who has her. She is of the Force Affinity, an attack champion of the Sylvan Watchers. Quite an interesting combination between affinity and the faction. In any case, let's go ahead and, well, she does look quite cool, not gonna lie. I mean, most of the Sylvan Watchers do look very cool, but she is especially menacing with only 1 single wing for some reason. Now let's move on to the kit, right? So double attack on the A1. If the target is under a shield buff, each hit is gonna be having a 25% chance of decreasing the value of such a shield by 10%, which is a very small amount, and I don't really like the whole way this reads. But anyways, we'll ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance, which, by the way, real quick, just going back, you're going to be able to see that the Corrupted Alliance is these whole 4 factions, right? Just in case you didn't know, I didn't even notice back in the day. Anyways, there we go. Now, if the target is not under any shield buffs, each hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense instead, and that is the idea for this attack to be a big heavy hitter A1 single target killer, right? This is champion which is going to be decently single target focused, quite bursty, and ideally, or rather, it kind of seems like she's going to be more useful in arena overall. But let's get to the whole picture there. Again, another single target attack, double hit. Each hit has a chance, or rather has a 100% chance of removing 2 random buffs from the target. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance once again. Now this skill deals more damage equal to the value of the target's current turn meter, stacking up to 100%. It's just a big nuke which also just kind of cleanses or removes the buffs from the enemy. They can resist this effect, that's why you got the 50% increased resistance, or rather ignoring 50% of the enemy's resistance if they are from the Corrupted Alliance. And the whole idea is, of course, for them to be, well, fully ready to get a turn on you, and then you go ahead and you nuke them with this double hit, which is going to be going down to 3-turn cooldown as well. Low cooldown, big heavy hitting ability. We'll have to see what the scalings on these things are anyways. Now, an AoE attack over here on the A3, double hit AoE. First hit has a 75% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. This chance can go all the way up to 100%. Second hit has a 50% chance of placing a block buffs debuff. That is the interesting part, right? Heal reduction is very nice in many situations. It's going to be a very useful champion in pretty much all the entry-level content, so if you're a new player and you're getting this, you will be decently happy. Maybe not as happy as getting Alice, but she does have a lot of tools which are nice. Then the block buffs debuff is going to be very good in Arena, let's be honest. We'll also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance, so it's going to be just a lot easier to actually land these things in Arena, but you will be still needing a lot of accuracy on this champion, let's be honest. I mean, if you're fighting something from the Corrupted Alliance, the accuracy requirements are going to be a little bit lower, but still she does apply a lot of debuffs and negative effects, so you do need a lot of accuracy on her. Maybe not a lot of speed, as she's an attack champion, but accuracy, crit rate, crit damage is going to be your best friends, as well as scaling attack percent, as she's scaling attack literally on every single attack that she does have, right? Then, finally, the passive is receives 15% less damage from enemies under a heal reduction debuffs, meaning that you're going to be applying this through the A3 on a 3-turn cooldown as well, right? So you got 3-turn cooldown, 3-turn cooldown, and the A1. So you're literally cycling through all these three things all the time. It's not single target A1 spamming. You want to be wanting to do all the things. You're going to be taking less damage from enemies you have already debuffed with the A3. And then fills this champion's turn meter by 5% whenever an enemy receives a shield buff or is healed. Now the shield shenanigans here are only on the A1. And that's pretty much just about it. If they do have some shielding, you're going to be faster and maybe just doing a little bit more damage to that shield, or removing it rather, because you're going to be decreasing the value of it by 10% with each hit, with a decently low chance actually. And finally, she does have an attack aura of 25% in all battles, which if we do go to Alice, if I'm not mistaken, I somehow clicked that and it just sent me all the way up to the payment page in Plarium. Anyways, Alice's aura is actually 30%, so this one from Leminisi is a little bit lower. You don't really use that aura anyways that often. I would rather use something like speed most of the time, but anyways, she's a solid champion. I would say not as good as Alice as a free champion to be getting, but overall I'm still happy to be getting her. She does have some interesting mechanics to her, especially these block buffs. I think she's going to be quite useful in Arena for me at least. If you've made it all the way up to the end of the video, I really encourage you to check out Aptoide. It's going to be allowing you to get yourself bonuses whenever buying anything in Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide. Those bonuses can go from extra 10% of any amount of money you're spending in the game, all the way up to extra 35% of that much money. And the good thing about the bonuses is that you can then go ahead and use them to buy the things for you instead of actually using your real money. So you're just going to be able to save up in further purchases as you are buying things that you would otherwise be buying anyways in the game, right? You can find out how to set it up on your Android devices like a PC and BlueStacks emulator, or just your Android phone very easily by following the link down there in the description. And if you go ahead and use my code, which is going to be somewhere up here in the screen, and input it into the Aptoide wallet, which again will be all explained about how to set it up down there in that link, then you're going to be able to get an even bigger bonus from the get-go, flat 5% bonus for literally ever. Just put it in there, and here in the wallet you will also be able to see your purchase history as well as how much bonus you currently have accumulated. So that's literally it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. See you.